What's up everybody, my name is Big Cam and welcome back to another movie review, and today we are talking about 2012's This Means War. And this movie is from director MCG, better known as MCG, Joseph McGinty Nicol, better known as MCG, and I just did a movie review the other day from this director called Terminator Salvation from 2009. He also did Uglies from 2024 for Netflix, so he's still directing films. But This Means War, starring Reese Witherspoon, Chris Pine, and Tom Hardy. And the three of them I actually quite like. And I remember seeing this back in 2012 and really loving it. And if you guys know me from the movie reviews from the channel, I am a sucker for a love story. So any type of love story at all, I'm on the edge of my seat like, oh, I hope they fall in love, you know? Like, in this whole movie, I remember getting to the end, and like the whole movie, I was watching it last night, and I'm going, oh my god, like, who, I don't remember who ends up with her, who ends up with winning, who wins the war, you know what I mean? Who ends up winning Reese Witherspoon? And who does Reese Witherspoon ends up choosing? And it comes down to the end, and a car's flipping towards the three of them, and she's got to choose which guy she goes to, and she goes back to Chris Pine, and Chris Pine's like a real asshole the whole movie, and he's really just trying to win the war out of spite because he didn't even realize he was in the war, you know what I mean? Like, he was just trying to pick up some chick, and then he's like, you know what, out of spite, I'm gonna go after this girl because she didn't easily sleep with me like every other girl. And Tom Hardy's like actually a good guy, and he's like trying to find love and, you know, and make a new family type of thing, because the family he had didn't really work out. His ex-wife isn't really working out, and you know, she is in the middle and she's dating both guys, and Chelsea Handler's like her best friend convincing her to do it, and Chelsea Handler's hilarious in this movie actually, much like Chelsea Handler just being herself in real life in this movie, but so funny. But Reese Witherspoon's actually quite gorgeous in this, and she's quite funny and has a good character, and you know, you really believe, like, yeah, these two fucking handsome guys that are both spies, but they're lying to her. One says he's a cruise captain, one says he's a travel agent, but they're both, like, CIA spies. And it ends up working out for the best in the end, but she chooses Chris Pine. I remember that initial choice. I was like, what the fuck? Like, she chose wrong. Tom Hardy's way better. But they planted the seeds throughout the movie that, like, he was lying to his ex, so that's why she didn't really love him, but his ex was also saying, like, she's got a date with somebody else, and he was trying to, like, hey, can we go out for dinner as a family type of thing, and she wasn't for it. And then after she finds out that he's not a travel agent, and that he's a spy, and he's actually a badass, and his son thinks he's a badass now, and he's kicking these other guys' ass at karate class instead of just, like, pretending he doesn't know how to do these things because he's a travel agent, you know, like he's actually able to be a badass spy now. So Tom Hardy ends up living happily ever after with his son and his, you know, ex, and they're gonna try again and try and be a family again, so that's kind of sweet. And then Chris Pine ends up with Reese Witherspoon, you know, and it is what it is. But the movie ends very funny, you know, and spoilers for an over decade-old movie, and a movie that doesn't really matter, but the end is funny because he's like, you know, it's kind of divine intervention, if you would, like, you slept with Reese, now I'm with her, like, and you know, it's not a big deal because I slept with your wife back in the day before you guys even knew each other. And he goes, but I never slept with Reese. You said what? He goes, yes you did. And he goes, no, I just made you believe I slept with her. I never slept with her. You slept with my wife. And he tackles him off the plane that they're on, and that's where it ends. And I'm like, oh man, this would have been a good, like, sequel, but also, like, how would they do another sequel, you know what I mean? Like, because if they lived happily ever after, what, that fight at the end of that movie ruined it so much that these two are actually at war with each other? Like, I don't know. It was good that this didn't get a sequel. Let's leave it as a one and done type of thing. Not everything needs a sequel. But I did think at the end, I was like, oh, it would have been funny to see them fighting more afterwards, you know, like landing on the ground and then still, like, you know, parachuting down, like, I'm gonna fucking kill you, you know, like, I thought it would have been funny. But overall, I gave this movie about a 3.5 out of 5 stars, about a 7 out of 10. You know, good movie. I love a rom-com, so, you know, good entertaining watch for me. But not that great a movie in general, just, you know, a nice little fun rom-com, nice little good way to spend a little bit over 90 minutes, you know what I mean? Nothing too crazy going on here. Although nowadays I think Chris Pine is a complete douche, Tom Hardy's still the man, and I haven't seen Reese Witherspoon in a movie in a long time. Maybe other than The Cordially Invited with Will Ferrell she just did last year. But I think Reese Witherspoon's like a billionaire now or something. She made like a movie studio, I believe, and then like goes to these different authors in like signs or like publishes their books type of thing, and then says if these books ever become movies, I have the first option on it, right? So like if any of the books she ever helped publish become big things and then get made into a movie, she has the option to make it at her movie studio. At least is how I expect that to go. I didn't research Reese Witherspoon, but I think that I've watched her on talk shows. I think that's what she's explained that she does in real life nowadays. So shout out Reese Witherspoon for being a badass businesswoman, you know, and having a great idea and not just needing to act her ass off for the rest of her life. Like, I'm pretty sure she made enough money from Legally Blonde, right? Like, or Miss Congeniality, whichever one it is. I don't know. No, I think Miss Congeniality is Sandra. Legally Blonde, I believe, is Reese Witherspoon. I don't know. That's a chick movie. Girls, comment below. What's your favorite Reese Witherspoon movie? Everybody else, comment. What is your favorite rom-com? If you have any movie recommendations for me, leave those down in the comment section below. Till next time, my name is Big Cam, and if you would like to support the channel or message me on my other social medias, links down in the description below for those. One more time, if you'd like to support the channel, subscribe, like, comment, make sure you hit that bell so you don't miss the future episodes and future movie reviews when they come out on the channel. The Last of Us Season 2 breakdowns have been coming out on Mondays, and/or Season 2 breakdowns are out on the channel, so go check those out if you haven't. My name is Big Cam. Thank you guys so much for coming on by, and I will see you beautiful people in the next one. Peace.